It was a very, very challenging struggle because when I first started my other company, I essentially got laughed at by everybody. They thought it was a joke that I was trying to build a performance tuning company that competes against these very, very well-established German brands.
Today, we're with Peter Nam doing an amazing interview talking about entrepreneurship, talking about Gunther Werks cars. And we're here at Turn 11 again, where my studio is. Thanks to Lynx Motors, they allowed us to shoot today. And as you can see, it's beautiful cars right behind me. Here's the podcast. Peter, behind us is one of the most beautiful Porsches I've ever seen. It's not even a Porsche, it's a Gunther's Werks Porsche. I am a Porsche owner. I love my car, and my car looks nothing like this beautiful car. Tell me about Gunther Werks and like how you guys got started.
So really the whole thing started when I was, developing products, performance products for my other company, Vorsteiner. And I noticed about 10 years ago, the car started getting faster, but they became heavier and became more digital. And they sort of lost that driver connection because you're just basically turning into computer on wheels.
Right.
So that was really the inspiration of trying to take an analog car and injecting technology in the right way where it enhances the performance and it enhances that emotional driving experience, but have modern performance. So you can kind of have your cake and eat it too.
Oh my gosh. I think that's why I have a really good friend of mine who's asking me about Porsches and which one to buy. I keep telling him, I know they're expensive right now, but get a 993 and we pull in this beautiful stunner. So tell us about this car and what you've done with this car.
So we stripped the car all the way down to the bare chassis. And we retained the original chassis. We don't mess with that because for safety reasons, homologation reasons. And we rebodied the entire car in carbon fiber. So we're saving almost 500 to 600 pounds off the original weight of the car. But this one has a 4-liter twin turbo and it has E85 system in it. So it has a flex fuel system. So the twin turbo makes about a little under 900 horsepower. And then with the E85, you're getting more than 1,000 horsepower.
1,000 horsepower. And you're going to, in between hot laps today at COTA, we're going to actually take this on the track. So stay tuned for those clips. I'm kidding. We're totally not taking this on the track, but that would be amazing. Your cars, so we're over 1,000 horsepower, 500 pounds, 600 pounds lighter than a standard car.
Correct.
Are we tracking these cars, or what is the end consumer usually doing with these?
So we have a pretty small percentage of clients that do track these cars. These are actually designed as a track car. So you have a duality, two different personalities. You have a car that basically is a car that can outperform most modern hypercars on the track. It's also very, very comfortable and has different drive modes where you can put it in the comfort mode. It only has like 600-700 horsepower. And my comfort mode in my 911 is 420 horsepower. That's his top end. So it's a track weapon, but also we designed it so that it's a very, very comfortable daily driver. And a lot of clients are very surprised by that because when they hear big numbers like 800 to 1,000 horsepower, those are not cars that you can use quite often. It's got a very specific use. So we wanted to broaden that and be able to have the client enjoy the car Monday through Friday, and on Saturday, Sunday, also be able to track it. They don't have to trailer their track car there. They can drive it there and drive it back home.
That's awesome. That's my cars that I track here on COTA. In fact, we're at COTA today here at the Turn 11 Car Condos. Thanks to Lynx Motors for letting us use their set here. And we'll talk about what you're doing at COTA a little bit here in a second, but that's what I love about my car. I can come track it, take it off the track and drive home. But my car is not $1.7 million.
Yeah, this is just more like 1.8, 1.9, depending on options.
Yeah, I shorted you a little bit there. I apologize. So tell us about some of the other cars that you've built and like price ranges and how somebody can get involved with your company.
So the other car that we released before this is the standard turbo, the orange one that we have over here. And that makes about 845 horsepower because it doesn't have the E85 system. And that car is roughly 2,700 pounds. And it's also, it's a little bit more tame than this vehicle. This one is very, very knife edge. That's a car that's been very, very popular for us.
How many of these cars are you selling a year?
So we are actually pretty much fully committed to all of our models right now. And it's not about how many we can sell. It's actually about how many we can make, because we manufacture this entire car in our facility in California, in Huntington Beach.
Yeah.
We literally manufacture everything that you see on the car: headlights, taillights, wheels, seats, carbon fiber body. Everything is manufactured in-house. The only thing we don't make is the engine. And we have a partner company in Portland, Oregon, that we build the engine together. It's a collaboration, but everything you see here is made in our facility. And these cars take between 4,000 to 6,000 man hours to hand assemble.
Wow.
And we can only make, 20 to 26 cars a year because of the labor intensive nature of these cars. And nothing is done robotically. Everything is done by hand.
Amazing. So what happens with the service with that? How do I get those serviced?
So that's the beauty of it. It is a Porsche 911.
Yeah.
And essentially you can service this car at a Porsche dealership or in an independent shop. We don't have to have the clients ship the car all the way to the factory. Unless there's like some kind of catastrophic disaster in the engine, these cars can be serviced at your local dealer. So that's the beauty of it. It's very, very easy to maintain.
That's great. And that's why I've been a Porsche fan for a very long time and own Porsches. And it's because I can go track them, I can beat the heck out of them, and they are absolutely bulletproof.
Right.
So seeing this car, so you did say I could drive it on the track though. I just want to,
you're more than welcome to if they let you on.
yeah. For a cool 1.9, I can drive it on the track.
Yeah.
So tell us, so you're here for F1. It's your second time being in Austin. We were talking about that earlier, which is really cool.
Right.
Number one, do you even like Austin? Has it been fun so far?
I actually love Austin. Yeah. It's got a nice diversity where you've got kind of that desert feel that you're used to in California, Palm Springs, but it also has that city. So it has that duality.
Yeah.
And it's really, really nice. And I really love the food here.
Yeah.
Especially the Texas barbecue. So you can't go wrong.
Did you hit up Terry Black's while you were here yet?
Actually, that's on my list.
Yes. Yeah. I feel like being somebody that's, I would say, a barbecue snob now, being in Austin for 13 years, I always thought that Terry Black's was just that tourist trap. And I went there about a year ago and totally went in with the mindset that I was just coming to a tourist trap. It is probably some of the best barbecue in Texas. Probably, I'd say top 10, right, Bryce? Top 10. Top 10. So you got to you're not missing anything if you just go there. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're in Austin for F1. Tell me as little or as much as you can about what you're doing here in Austin for F1.
So we are potentially working on a collaboration project with somebody that's involved in F1 right now.
Okay.
So that's the reason we're here, to support that. And that gentleman has been driving our orange turbo around these last couple of days. And, we just wanted to come and support that. And also just really the first time ever coming to this track. So I heard so many good things about COTA here. And so actually get to see this in person at an F1 event is, you can't ask for more.
Well, I'll give you my contact. And when we do another Owner's Day here at Turn 11, you're more than welcome to bring out any car you want to come to our Owner's Day. Because with the Turn 11 car condos, we get Owner's Days where we can drive the track. And it is some of the best driving you can do. You can also, there's a lot of different car companies that are, brands that come out and rent the track, but the Turn 11 have the best open track days where you don't have 1,000 people on the track.
Right. That's great. Yeah. We'd love to come. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd love to come, bring this car back and set the new record.
Well, we actually have a car studio being built down the road. If you need a place to store it for a while, we can shoot as much content with this in the backdrop as you need.
Appreciate that. Thank you so much.
So look, I want to pivot here a little bit and talk about you as an entrepreneur. Give me a little idea of what you did before, because you said you've only been doing Gunther Werks for about 10 years, right?
It's going on 9 years.
9
now.
years.
Yeah.
Okay.
So before that, I had another company that is, 24 years old.
Okay.
It's a tuning company called Vorsteiner. So we make carbon fiber and wheels for mostly high-end German cars, BMW, Porsche. We also do a lot of Ferrari and Lamborghini parts. So I've been doing that for 24 years. Wow.
That's 24 years. What got you started into just even moving into that?
So I went to school for finance in Boston. And I graduated, unfortunately, in the wrong year. In 2000, where we had the dot-com bubble burst.
Oh, yeah.
And then in 2001, we had 9/11. So there were no jobs in Wall Street.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
So I moved out to California, and I really just sort of started Steiner as a hobby business. 24 years later, I'm like, oh my God, this is my full-time job now.
You're right.
So that's kind of how it started. It started out of passion and my love for cars and wanting to modify the cars. And I was buying other parts from other brands, found there was opportunities to improve it. And so that's one day I decided, hey, you know what? I'm going to make this stuff myself for my own car, and hopefully other people appreciate it. So that's kind of how it all started.
I mean, you did good.
It was a long road. I mean, I actually had to sell my E46 M3.
Oh, wow.
And I think I had like $30,000 left. So that was the seed money that I started the company with one employee, and it just grew from there. So
that's wild. I think this is some of the things that most people don't really understand is that car, what did that car mean to you?
It was like the only thing that I had of any value at that point. And it was heartbreaking for me to sell that car, but I needed seed money to get the business going. It's funny enough that on my 20-year anniversary, a couple of years ago, I bought back an E46 M3 and rebuilt it as a tribute to the, sort of the seed of how my company started. So I was always a BMW guy. That's how I started. And so I have that E46 M3. It's not the same one that I sold, obviously, but...
Or take a quick second to remind you that 1925 is an amazing brand tequila. If you're looking for that beautiful tequila taste that goes back 3 generations, 1925 tequila, amazing. Try it. Yeah, you'll have to send me some photos of it so we can post them here, because I'd love to see that car. And I mean, obviously you made a tribute out of it, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's talk about some of the highs, obviously. I want to hear about some of the highs that you've had in this business and what you've done. And then let's talk about some of like the things that you've really had to do to get there.
I think some of the highs is like, when we're going to Monterey Car Week and we're at Quail and we're, unveiling a brand new car, and it's very, very nerve-wracking to see what people are going to say, what the press is going to say about it. And when we get good feedback, it's like probably like the highest that I can get. I get such a high off that customer feedback if it's positive, and it's rewarding. And also when we get reviews from journalists after they've driven our car and if we get positive reviews, that's also, a high that I love getting. So
you put your passion into building these cars, and then, I mean, they are virtually rolling pieces of artwork.
We are really more of a performance focused company.
But I mean, you see that, and that is a thing of beauty, right?
Yeah, we do try to make it as nice or pretty as possible, but our primary focus is everything is around performance, and the beautification and the looks are a secondary thing. It's a byproduct of the engineering and performance that goes into these cars.
Yeah, I mean, you do some amazing work. I've known about your company for a really long time. I've seen the brand and seen the cars, and as a Porsche owner, scrolling through and seeing one of these cars up for sale, it's like, yeah, I'd love that. Yeah. Okay, where am I going to get the 1.9 million to buy it? But that's a whole other story.
Right.
So you go to these events, right? And everybody gets to see your cars and enjoy the work that you've put into it. Tell us behind the scenes, what happens on a daily basis to get from selling your beautiful BMW to getting to here?
It was a very, very challenging struggle, because when I first started my other company, I essentially got laughed at by everybody. They thought it was a joke that I was trying to build a performance tuning company that competes against these very, very well-established German brands. And I finally went over that hurdle where I didn't have the doubters and the naysayers, probably after 10 years of being in business, right? Went over that hurdle. And then when I started this 9 years ago and I was telling people about it, I mean, I was getting pretty much laughed at, even by my own employees. They thought I was crazy.
Really?
Yeah. And the people were like, that's just never going to happen. And, good luck to you. And there were a lot of doubters.
How do you push through that, though?
I think that you have to have mental perseverance to be able to survive and thrive as an entrepreneur. You have to be able to take negative feedback and channel that and turn that into motivation and say, hey, I want to prove all these people wrong, all these people that thought this was a joke, and the naysayers. You have to have adversity. So there were like many times where like I wanted to give up, and I would watch inspirational movies and these underdog stories, and it would, at night kind of like reinvigorate me and make me mentally push through to, make it into a reality. So it hasn't been an easy road for sure. And I, for the most part, self-funded the whole business. I have very, very few investors, seed investors in the beginning. So I didn't start with, $30-50 million pocketbook. We were really grinding every single day to keep the company alive and to keep pushing through and building all these new models. So it was a struggle. I look at the photos of myself 9 years ago, and I look at my photos now, and I'm like, wow, I aged like 20 years in 9 years.
In 9 years. Let's talk about one of those days where you're about ready to give up, right? You're thinking, this is too overwhelming. Everybody's pushing me down. Everybody's saying, no, I can't do this. Tell me, maybe what was the movie that helped you say, you know what, I got to do this? Like, how did you get through that? Because so many people give up, right? My favorite meme or GIF that I've ever seen is it's two people with pickaxes going towards diamonds, right? Have you ever seen this one? So there's diamonds on one way. They're digging to get to the diamonds, and there's a guy so close to the diamonds walking in the way, and the other guys just keep going, right?
Right.
How do you really get there where you say, okay, forget it, I'm moving forward. I don't care what the credit card bills are saying. I don't care what debtors are telling me. I don't care what these people are saying. I have to do this because I believe in it. Like, what is that really got you there?
Entrepreneurs are kind of a breed of their own.
And I know entrepreneurs. I'm like you. I want to talk about you.
Yeah.
I mean, you're here. We have this beautiful piece of art. How did you do it?
I think it was just mental toughness and adversity, and just never giving up, So I have a goal in mind, and no matter how difficult it is, I wake up every morning and say, I'm going to go get that goal, and I'm going to fight through all of these negative things around me, all these adversities and all these challenges and conflicts. You just have to push through. And yeah, watching like inspirational movies would help me. Fight through it.
Name me one. Fight Club, was that one?
No, definitely not Fight Club.
Okay.
Cinderella Man.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Seabiscuit.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah, those are good ones. I watched a lot of underdog movies during those times where like I couldn't go to sleep, and I needed to get inspired, and overcoming the impossible. That's kind of, the theme. So yeah.
Did you always have that grit in you? Because that takes a certain level of grit to do that, right?
Yeah.
To overcome that when you just want to give up and walk away.
Ever since I was young, when I would play sports and I would lose, it would just kill me when I would lose in sports. And I think that over the years recently, I kind of self-analyze what motivates me and what creates that fire. And I think that, sadly enough, I am fueled by my hatred of losing.
Yes.
And the feeling of winning doesn't really fuel me. It's my hatred of losing. I hate losing.
Do you have a memory of losing something that you were just like, that's what eats at you?
Oh, there's a lot of memories like that. Yeah. Both in sports and in business. I've had some businesses that I first started when I graduated college that I've had 2 failed businesses, and I learned from that.
What were the businesses?
One was like an online kind of like auction style company that I started in like 2001. And then I also had like an online automotive retail store that went BK after 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
So those are all actually great because I learned the most when I fail.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't learn that much when you're winning, but you actually learn the most when you're failing, and you learn from your mistakes. And so it's an evolving thing. You cannot always think about victories. You have to learn from the mistakes that you made. And a lot of people make mistakes, they get upset, and then they try it again, but they don't actually analyze what were the mistakes they made and what are they going to do differently, right?
How are you able to do that with, like, let's say one of the 2 businesses that failed? How are you able to look at that and say, okay, I'm not making that mistake again? Or do you have a mistake that you can point to that you're like, I'm not doing that one again?
I don't think there's any specific ones. There's too many, honestly, to list here. We would be sitting here for like 3 hours.
I mean, we have, we got to hurry up because literally the sprint race starts soon.
Right,
so,
exactly.
Yeah. If I'm a young entrepreneur, right, and I'm trying to start one of my first businesses, what would be like the one thing that you would recommend an entrepreneur do?
I would say that you have to have a very clear goal in mind. And I would not forward, but backwards from the goal that you have.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say this is a goal I want to hit, and you have to come up with a plan in reverse to get to that goal. So you have to have a clearly defined short-term or long-term goal and work backwards, almost like that movie with Tom Cruise at the end of
Cocktail. Oh yeah, wrong one.
Yeah, the end of tomorrow, where he's constantly reliving that day, but he learns from that day what to do, what not to do. So it's almost like, imagine yourself going in a time machine in the future, and you're like, this is where I want to be. And then how do I backwards calculate from today to get to that level is what I preach myself and also to all my employees.
One question on that. Where do you put your goals? Is there goals in your mind? Do you put them out visually? Like, where are you putting your goals now?
They're in my head. They have to be as detailed as possible. The more detail you have in your goal, the better that your chance of succeeding in that. So you have to think about the financial and the brand and your position and what kind of products you're making or service you're making, but try to define that goal as detailed as possible.
How many employees do you have currently?
I have just under 100.
Under 100.
Yeah.
How do you share with those employees to get on your level of the goal and vision? Because this is one thing that I personally struggle with. I have a vision of what I want to do. I don't have the best way of articulating it with the people so they get on board.
Right.
What's the best way that you articulate that?
I think it's just like when you have company meetings, employee meetings, you have to explain your vision and explain your goal and how to get there. And I think honestly, you just have to tell them exactly what you're going through and make it as detailed and as personal as possible. If it sounds very, very generic, people will not buy into that. It has to really come from your heart.
Yeah.
You know? So I think honesty is the best policy, and you have to like say, this is my goal. This is what I really want. And I want you guys to buy into this vision. And
what happens when somebody's not buying in? Like, how quick do you let somebody go?
I think when you have someone that's not aligned with their vision, just like Steve Jobs said, you got to exit them out quickly. You're just wasting your time and the company time and that person's time. So I think it's very, very important that your employees are buying into that vision.
How quickly do you recognize that somebody's not bought in?
I think you will sense it as a manager, you know, whether they're just coming in and it's just sort of a 9-to-5 job. They're just punching the clock and getting their paycheck, or someone that's actually passionate and they care about what they do. So, you know, most managers will be able to sense that. And when you sense that, it's one of the biggest mistakes is I kept on employees thinking that I could change them. And that was one mistake that I would never repeat again. Is when you have an employee that's not the right fit, don't try to change them. If it's not going to work, it's not going to work. You have to let them go and replace them with somebody that wants to be in that position.
Yeah, I've been through that recently quite a bit, and it's been a struggle because on one hand, you don't want to lose productivity, but how are you going to be productive with somebody that's not totally tied in? How much more of your energy are you going to have to give? And I think that's where, you know, our energy is all we have. Our time and our energy is the things we have. And if you let somebody be a energy vampire, unfortunately, it can really hurt your brand, right?
Right, exactly. Time is actually the most valuable commodity in the world. You know, it's more valuable than money. You cannot buy back time. So I think that if someone is wasting your time and energy, that person really has to go. They can find some other job where they can pass their time and waste their time. But, you know, you have to value your own time and the company's time. And it's just like Formula One. There are only so many seats in Formula One. And if someone is not performing in that seat, there are 3,000 other people that want that seat, right? So if there is an employee that you have that is not on board, there's hundreds of other people that want to be in that seat, that would love to be in that seat.
How do you find those people?
That's been a struggle, you know, finding talent and finding people that are passionate about what they do. It is not easy. And I don't think I have like a secret formula for that.
How do you find a really good video guy? I
think I found one right here.
Oh, man. Bryce and I have been doing this for a year and a half, 2 years?
Almost
2 years. Yeah. So I found a good one. So
yeah,
well,
find a good one. You got to keep them.
I think what you're saying is so important because I found over the last year, I've been energy depleted, and I was trying to evaluate where my energy was going and why I was feeling depleted. And I realized that it was some of the people that I was working with where I wasn't allowing them to suck my energy dry, and it was hurting creativity. It was hurting the focus of the brand, and having to come back and refocus on what was important took the energy. And good thing I let a couple of those people go.
Yeah. That's a great decision.
Yeah. So again, we're here at F1, and I'm so happy that you took time. I know you were here and this kind of just worked out amazingly. And I just want to say thank you for taking the time to talk about yourself and your business. It is really cool to see what you've done. And really since 2000 and now we're talking 25 years, you were able to go, you know, a couple companies, make the Porsche, yeah. And then this is phenomenal. Where can people find you if they want to get more information on your cars or reach out to you?
Yeah, they can just go to our Instagram or our website, guntherwerks.com and vorsteiner.com, and all the information is there.
Awesome. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. This is a phenomenal opportunity, and we'll hopefully have fun on the track today.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate you. Thank you. Thanks to Peter for taking the time during F1 to do an interview with us. If you haven't subscribed yet to the channel, make sure you do. We're going to do more content like this, not always about cars, but talking about entrepreneurship and what it takes to be an entrepreneur and the sacrifice involved. Thank you so much, Peter, for this opportunity, and make sure you subscribe.